All right, let's take a look at some more table of values. Obviously, the word problem, you would have to create the table of values and then figure out the equation. So let's go for, notice I don't always start on the top line. Lots of the times I want to put something above, whatever. 1, 2, 3, and those numbers won't always be like that. 3, 4, 5. So let's make some logical guesses. So in the first line, we can say 3n, but in the second line, that doesn't work. So we can say t equals. So what about, n plus 2? There it is. We have our equation. So remember, try it for the first line. When n is 1, use logic. See if the pattern works by substitution. If not, cross it off and repeat until it works. So, continuing. So, let's go for, oh, right, checking your answer, substituting. So, remember, I'll show a little more steps for this. So, t equals 3n. Why didn't that work? We'll take the first n value in the table, and t equals, 3 times 1, and that's equal 3. So it works. Take the second, write the equation down that you think, substitute the first value, the second value in the table, and it doesn't work. So that's when you get to cross it off. Then keep trying. So in the last example of the notes, I didn't do that careful substitution. If that was difficult in your head, we just redid that there to figure out what equation works. So let's do it a different way. So I'm going to skip a couple lines, nt, and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. So the same thing that we've been working on. And then I'm going to say plus 1, plus 1. And then I'm going to say plus 1, plus 1. Then I'm going to figure out the equation in a different way. So it's always, I'm below the table, so I'm going to go below the table. Letter on the right, or letter not going up by 1, 2, 3, equals number on the far right, plus 1, over number on the far left, plus 1. I'm running out of letters. Let's go for, oh my gosh, let's go for black. Letter on the left. Then we have to figure it out. So we actually have to go back 1 and figure out when n is 0. So on the left column, I'm subtracting 1. The pattern continues. On the right, I'm subtracting 1. And 3 minus 1 is 2. I'm going to circle that one in. I have to get a new color. My apologies. Orange, no, purple. Okay. And then when the left-hand number is 0, that's the number in black that goes here. Notice it's exactly what we did above, but it allows you to do much more difficult questions. So keep in mind, off to the right, you might get a sideways table or a list of blanks like 3, 4, 5, but again, written out in English. It's the right letter equals the change on the right letter over the change in the left letter. Then the left letter in the table. Then plus or minus the value of the right letter when the left letter is 0. And that's how I've done all the rest of the examples. Simple patterns like the first table, 3n minus 1. Below it, negative n plus 1. Sometimes it's difficult. Off to the right-hand side is going up by 3 over 2. So it's 3 over 2, etc. Further off to the right, it's going up by 3. And then the left is going up by 2. And 3 over 2 is 3 over 2. And more complex patterns, like n squared plus 1, n cubed, n squared minus n, and root n, etc. There'll be a bunch. I did this one short because I know this chapter is going to change. So if you see this video, it might be whatever. So figuring out what the equation is, either with the guess and check method at the top, which is probably going to be your friend, or some crazy manipulation check mark down below.